What's up, brother? Getting on YouTube right now. I know, right? Right at that overhead wall. Anybody grab anything on that? Obviously, stop losses if you're taking this any shorter on a lower time frame. Day traders 609.19 is where you're likely liable to retest here. So IWM might follow here in just a moment and go and touch that 263.50. Sheesh. A lot more to lose, though. How you fall. We're going to see here. We just hit a major 24-hour, larger, higher time frame wall. Just like when we opened up right at the floor. I I grabbed a few IWM short skis. Damn, I'm up 216%. Holy shit! I literally just looked away for 2 seconds. All right, let's trim. I mean, I got these for fucking virtually nothing. Ooh, boy, that's starting to pick up some speed here, baby. Look, it has nothing to hold it up except for where you get to right here. Yeah. I mean, I could see this thing going clearing all the way to six because if you look at right here, this is the only, yeah, this right here stops, you would be completely flushed into. Damn, what the fuck was that? That was a range, but box punched back down. Damn. Whoops. Hold on, I'm selling some more IWO. What's good, Brandon? I'm currently in a short position right now, so damn, I grabbed these for $3. They're at $13 right now, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you get 100 of them, just trimmed out of 50 though, we're good. Paid. Donkulous, dude. Uh, I'm gonna I'm gonna try to leave some runners here. See if we can sink a little bit lower. I'll watch this overhead. I'm on IWM right now, so I'll switch this over. Yep. Once you start buying that many contracts, you start showing up on other people's radar. Oh, damn, that was juicy. Damn, boy, that's a $650 or percent trade right there, boy. Goddamn. Easy. What is this right now? A reaction to ripping ass all the way to an area that contains a butt fuck ton of volume. Excuse my language. Sorry if there's kids around. Plug their ears. The cues are teetering on that edge right here. Obviously, IWM's biggest level of concern, folks, is going to be the 260-250 area. If we lose that, might be looking at a 16 million% trade. Wee wee. Wee wee. What do you mean showing up on other people's radar? Oh my god. I mean, that I would show up basically like in the flow. People would see my position, which you don't want to, even if you're buying equity and stuff, you don't want to attract too much attention, like on a low float or something. Some market maker will come in there and crush you. Oh, no fear. All right, let's go back down here. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, you could look at it like that. Yeah. Um, I've seen Potter move the tape. Yeah. Occasionally I flex my muscles when I feel a high conviction, and like when I took those Q puts the first time around, you know, I felt a huge level of conviction. Um, so it was those are the positions where I'd been talking about that for weeks, and it's almost like I build myself up. So advisor to the commander of the IRGC, the Strait of Hormuz is closed, and we will target any ship that attempts to pass through. Iran to set any ship trying to pass on fire. That sounds like some. Yeah, we're bullish. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Because the market doesn't give a fuck. The market in general, like the ETFs, but other than that, no, man. Because listen, they did this strategically, right? With LMT and everything else and PLTR. They do it on a Saturday when you can't get a hold of it. And there were signs on PLTR and a couple of other ones that it was consolidating before it even touched that third overhead wall, or overhead resistance, and that was kind of a sign. But yeah, it's they try to keep it out of reach, of the momentum behind people's reach, I guess, if you will. So that's real good. Oh man. Okay. IWM Q's not really finding resolve here on the floor. We're not doing end of the day analysis quite yet. I'm in the middle of something. Let's see here. What do we got next? Oui. That's what. Come on, doggy. Now, obviously, getting into the end of the day, if they do not push it through this volume, again, 24-hour floor, then we probably will chop the living shit out of everybody until the end of the day. So don't get caught up, right? The volatility is here. Just have to be on the right side of it. You see somebody on Kalashi. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Nice push on the Qs here to the downside. We need to again keep your. We got mostly empty space, but we do have levels that we had to break to get here. So I'm just keeping those in mind. Kind of help with the leg down here. More volume found on IWM. It's so dope when you do have that level of contracts. That especially when you get them for so damn cheap. Uh, you trim 50% of those, and it's like it takes a lot of stress off the trade. So mm, I don't like how price is behaving here. Watch for a break back over 263.30. Excuse me. Yeah, 263.30. I'm gonna go down a little bit further here. 45-second. Yep, that overhead. Here we go. Tap there, and then here, and then probably all the way back up. Now, faster the better, right? Wick up there and then die off. That would be bearish, right? Quick retest back up into the structure, the volume, just like when you're breaking out. QQQ, same thing. Obviously lagging a little bit behind IWM. Yeah, Tesla actually surprisingly kind of held its it did go up and more than gap fill, but it did hold that 404.50 floor and then push price back underneath it. All right, so we saw that. This is where we want to see a red. We want to see this candle flip. That'll set us up for in the right direction. That or the next one that touches the actual floor. I mean, you touched enough, but yes, big higher time frames, Diplo. Touch. I don't mind if you get up in there, but obviously if we push through this box up above, we're going to keep moving to the upside and possibly get that overhead rig. Was there news for the drop? Yeah, the Strait of Hormuz has been shut down. Yeah, if you pass through there, me and Manny are gonna take our boat through the strait tonight. See if we can catch anything. Yeah, yeah. Got some barracudas in there, you know. He loves barracudas. Yep. I don't know where this music's coming from. I'll be 100% honest with you, but it's fire. 318. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Knowing where to call it quits is imperative, dude. That's that's dude. These 262 puts that I'm holding as runners are still up 183%. Sorry. Yeah. Well, yeah. My wife says I have no feelings, so I'm good. Nah, man. I'm saving up for a cat. Dude, yeah, right. If I went, see, that's what I'm trying to. I want to be a part of it. Dude, I mapped out the last time it happened. I said it before I left. I haven't learned how to day trade. Potter speaks over my head. I have 68 long stock with Tesla. Sheesh. That's a lot of long stock, my boy. Pippi long stockings. All right, so empty space has been filled as we resume a candle close, possibly underneath that 263.50 and back to touch this top, right? This might, if you can engulf that and obviously close below 262.23, we might see some runner action. I can't. I'm having trouble speaking right now. Yeah, we're not doing this right now, buddy. It's beautiful and everything, but what? I'm like, what do I sell burgers in this? I sound like the lady from Wendy's. Oh, I got to keep that in mind. Man, she painted an entirely different picture of me in her mind. That's funny. That's that's honestly great though. Square burgers only. That's right. I sound like I swear. With the what? Oh yeah, man. That's crazy. Every time I play this song, dude, people are like, "What is this?" This Denzel Curry walking. Dude, there is a my son. You know, again, he's not. He's like, dude, you're. He like pointed it out. He was like, Dad, you don't have like one style of music that you like. You like what? He just asked me. He said, "What don't you like?" I was like, I guess yodeling is not really in my playlist. He's like, you like country? I was like, some old Western country? Hell yeah. Don't take your gun to town, son. Oh, that's a great one. Mm-hmm. Why was it bullish today? We open up on a floor. My grandpa, he's 80. You know, he played a lot of music on our road trip from Georgia to Oregon, and yeah, I picked up a lot of the music that I was like, yeah, this is the jam. They keep popping. So they result to scams and robbing. Come on now, get moving. I hope they don't trap us in that empty space they just created. But if they can drive this motherfucker or this sucker down, I'm trying to remember there's kids listening now. How do I identify the floor? Candle closes on the floor, right? Or points of contact. Like that's a floor. What if we can get an end of day dump? It would be down in here that we would be targeting the box right here. But again, we're on the lower time frame here. Hey, no, you should gotta walk. Yeah, stop busting in my door. I'm locking my office door from now on. You're locked out. The public hears it. What do you know about this shit? What do you know about stress? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. It's all jokes. I tell jokes. Well, just so you know, I put our entire family life, heirlooms, and everything in this one particular trade that expires in less than a little more than 30 minutes. So it could be over here, Peyton. All the Disney resort trips, it's all gone. That's how I'm going to humble my family. They got too used to the good life. Does anybody here rage bait their wife? Can we get, is anybody a therapist? Can you tell us why we do that? What's wrong with us? Okay, let's get this guy in, let's get this guy in, let's get this guy in the room. Uh, he doubled down. All right, IWM break, please, so we can move past that conversation. Let's go. Freakazoid? When's the last time? I haven't heard that in a long time. I'm looking for a break through this small box here. Double break. If not, we're going to chop in this motherfucking range. Which at the end of the day. The Qs have a nice little waterfall potential here on the 3 minute, right? All of this right here. So the next leg down 606, but right there we could expect some pretty fluid price action. Obviously, this one left behind quite a bit of empty space. Retesting the box that we punched through to get here. Starting to lose this floor here. Yo, somebody asked, does she use belts or whips? Look at the market, man. I mean, I get it, dude. It's at this point, it's you just got to start looking at expiration. You know, start contemplating because that I think it's market conditions that are making this so hard to get going. So, listen, I don't even I'm not saying that what's happening this right now does not lead to a a big dump tomorrow. In fact, leaving behind all this empty space, we could actually move down in after hours and then leave that open for tomorrow's price action. So, yes, I do. The music sing this got me down. All right, that's probably gonna watch the cues here if you're a day trader, scalper, whatever. I'm so lost with options. Jaded Brett, you know that you can practice by trading with shares and it will make your life a little bit less stressful. Obviously, mostly confined to the upside, but yeah, be sure to tap the screen if you're on TikTok. All right. Not yet. Look at all that, dude. Look at it. Look at it. Your toes are on the edge. Right there, dude. Anything back up above 607.50 and there's probably a re-entry on depending on where you're in. What song is this? Oh, dude. It's Blockhead. It's one of the trippiest videos you ever watch in your life. First time I saw it, I was not of the right mind. Yeah, a lot of people trade shares. Just structure, Matt. Volume on a stock, daily trading volume, yes, but like the bars that you see at the bottom of your screen, I don't care about those. It's not a variable in my trading. I already have a position on IWM actually, but it's a runner position. Now this one, oof, boy, they are whacking the shit out of this at 263.50, which is that 24-hour level. So popping back up above that, and you're destined to meet 264. Man, this is entertaining to watch. with the jams. Ooh. Okay, so I was actually wrong on that. So shrink that down. That's what it looks like. Yo, so this is actually a perfect example. If you ever see this on the 24-hour where you have structure above and below, that's how you know that the day is going to be choppy. Everything that you see on the lower time frame is typically true on the higher. Now, obviously, this can break because it's the 45-second, which I do not usually use, but right now I just wanted to see what that floor looked like. So obviously, popping over 263.50 would likely result in a move back over and to 263.93. They're shoving it down, but they got to get it actually underneath the floor. None of this counts. Otherwise, all of your if you have a job to do and you keep trying to do that job and then it keeps going wrong, pipes are going to bust and price is going to fly. Let's see if they let it. Yep. Yep. It's the only thing. 263.66. Got about. The pipes are going to bust, you dork. Well, now you have something to punch down through. Would I swing gold calls? I haven't. I don't know. Let me see. 24-hour. That's not my setup for taking gold calls. However, that is the exact same target that I gave. Damn, holy shit! I did not even look at gold this morning. That is the target that I gave people. I think down at 467.60 was the target that I gave here. Break even. It's a whole week, and Ian, the website has all the information. Do I have reverb on? No. Why do you hear? Oh, you hear two? No. If you're watching Alex or Ivy's stream, you need to mute it, or you're gonna hear double of me. Otherwise, we would have to be inside of a stage, which would not allow for you guys to be able to talk. If they don't accomplish anything, oh, 334. Yeah, I know. Elf is now that Elf has an overhead resistance of 95.66 and it lost the box. Um, it's probably one of those setups that we're gonna take later on. But I tell you what, I might even take options on this one the next time it comes around. Uh, Depending on obviously how they're priced, but that could be a really good setup. So no, queues are bundled up down here at the floor. Reclaim levels at 608 here to pop up and go hit 609. That trigger hasn't fired. You're still stuck. J Diamond blocked you? Yeah, damn, that's an achievement. That's an emoji? Oh my god, dude. That's pretty ripped though. I was 17 in that picture, Neil. It's pretty sketchy of you, dude. Look at all the effort that it's having to put in to get this price back up, though. How do I know where to get out? Typically, like, say you were in a short from here, right? If you have a box being built like this, once you find that overhead resistance, or floor that it needs to recover, typically once that's recovered, you would stop out. Jade Britt, I don't need to risk a lot. That's one of the benefits is I don't need to risk a lot. Come on, everyone, do something. Punch down through something. I was also underage in that one. Actually, no, I wasn't. Never mind. IRGC Brigadier General Abraham Jabari, we will not allow a single drop of oil to leave the region. Uh-oh, that's one of the statements that'll fire America up, dude. No oil. That's like saying no freedom. I think they're oppressing. Do they think? I wonder if they mean China. What are they going to put? I don't think they would punish their ally in the middle of a conflict. We were ready for China. They came with their Chinese missiles. Who? Oil? They'll figure it out. I'm sure. They'll figure it out. I mean, BRICS, maybe. I mean, again, I'm not a economic expert here, but I feel like they've had it's only been 15 years of us accusing them of being a week away from nuclear weapons, so it's not like they haven't had time to prepare. Gas went up here for me over 75 cents a gallon. That's damn. I don't know about you guys. I make my own gasoline. No, I was kidding. Yeah, I mean, again, one of the things, listen, if you're nervous about swinging in this environment, I do not blame you. I do not blame you, right? Because now we're dealing with war, which, yeah, there is some scheduled programming that happens with it, but a lot of it is unpredictable. So when it depends on which setup you're in, right? But like, let's say we're in the queues, and the further we are away from 610, the less likely it is that we run. But does that mean we dump or gap down to a floor that we recovered? So it doesn't, like, you could end up gapping down here overnight, which, if you take a shorter expiration contracts, that could be fine. But, it'd ultimately be in there that you would be, price would likely be trapped. When the war is over, do we see a spike? I would say before the war is over. I mean, depend on how. I mean, if the war is over tomorrow, right, and somehow something happens, which I doubt it, but yeah, yes, of course, yeah, we would see price recover all of those levels that they lost as a reaction, which I guess that's what today was. But well, Potter isn't here. Yeah, yeah, I got a big tank in one of my cars. I filled it up like 1 billion gallons or something like that. Woohoo! All right. Nah, man, I'm gonna fucking get a Fred Flintstone's ass car, dude. I do, son. I wear size 12 and a half. When I paddle underwater, all right, let's get this guy out of here. Uh, but yeah, dude, I can feel the thrust from each foot. I get about a good 3 feet of thrust. What? All right. We got to get you guys locked into like some sort of containment room. That's what we need. Not much of a baiter. No, I'm size 14. Good God. Yeah, cover the kids' ears. All right, 341 here. All right, so let's as we get into the close here, let's discuss the close. So today's culprit, right, was this 24-hour or 4-hour floor directly underneath us. We gap down to it, and the rule is when you gap down to a floor, the initial move is a bounce. We did. We bounced, we touched, and we failed to reject it. Obviously, this gave way to the empty space and the gap. Now, right, and troubling enough, is we're sitting right up against the level, the same level that we fell under, the same level that we couldn't get past. And when we do, right, or if we do, we have a nice pocket of empty space directly overhead. Now, envisioning a big green candle pushing up there would obviously have us looking at the potential for this to break over 616. Weird environment to do this. Yes, it is. But again, chart's the chart. So that being said, obviously, as we get towards the end of the day, the further away, which is kind of what we're accomplishing here, the further away we are from that, the better a swing might line up. On the QQQ right now, again, 30-minute time frame, you can see, or excuse me, actually, you can go down here to the 5-minute time frame. And if we, in a lightning fast second, which might be what happened, hold on 1 second, actually, hold on. I'm gonna try those. 608. Give me a sec. Hold on. Oh, all right. So, and I would watch for a really, really quick pop up there, and if that gets drawn down in after hours, we'll have 15 minutes to kind of watch that. That's where we could set up for a pullback overnight, and then set up for a gap fill again. But obviously, with price so far away from that 610, it might line up better as a intraday entry. Um, to the upside. But again, you would be taking a position off of a half rejection or a rejection at this point. So, but anyway, empty space above and below. I do think that if we do pull back overnight, for those of you guys looking at shorter expiration contracts, 604.33 is your retest underneath you, or the floor that we would most likely retest due to the fact that we're rejecting overhead. Now, gapping down to that floor would likely drive price right back up. And of course, that could give us another crazy rip to the upside. So as of right now, right, a swing trade on the Qs might not be. Who's in Savannah? I am. What? Did I hit the Savannah for you page or something? That's weird. All right. So that being said, let's take a look at IWM as we get into the close. And this one, as well, is shying away. Now, it's a big green candle close, securing both a floor. And I've already discussed here that obviously a continuation literally above this exact level would lead us potentially to the top of this range. And it's still worth paying attention. Again, we're still in control of this channel. And, again, just to prove it, you can see the points of contact as I shrink that down. So with IWM, I grabbed earlier some, let's see what contracts were they? The 266 strike, which if you look at the 4-hour, or excuse me, yeah, if you look at the 30-minute, I grabbed these earlier. But if we push through this range, there's empty space right here, and it would make ripping right up to that top relatively easy. So with the floor secured and just a little bit of resistance above you, obviously that's what we could be looking for. And I will be watching, all the way until 15 minutes after the bell to see how price reacts, because the further away we get from it, the more likely we'll have to look at a potential pullback. If you are looking at a hedge or anything, any move to the downside overnight to protect that investment, again, that 262 higher time frame, 263. Let's see. No, actually 267. So yeah, it would be 262. Would be a potential gap down level, but with price recovering that. Uh, yeah. Am I in SCAD? I'm in Georgia too. Oh shit! What did I get raided by Savannah? I do not go to SCAD. No. All right, last one, Spy, which I'm not interested in at all. But yeah, I see it on the other screen here. What are we doing? Curling? Yeah, anybody, if anybody, I grabbed a few little cheap skis. Let's see if we would get an end of the day pop up here to 609. Still some of the, yeah, I still have some of the IWM. Yeah. Potter, I have training for work tomorrow tonight. Will watching the repost work as much as the live? Yes, of course, man. 15 minutes after the bell, you can trade options on the queues. Yeah, 265.81 would be the exact price target for tomorrow if we did rip over today's high. Give me a second, guys. I'm managing my positions too. All right, so SPY real quick. Again, same setup as the cues on the lower time frame. 24 hours, an absolute fucking mess. So focusing on the range over to us closest. And yes, it is possible, guys, that this could be the further away we get, the way that we're reacting to basically cost basis, right? Or the 50% mark is where the volume is at. And yeah, a red candle could spawn, right, off of this and engulf today's price action, but it would not be, right? And this is what could line it up. It would not be until you actually lost to 683, which is again, if you look at the lower time frame, basically a punch down through this box, which we are bouncing off of. So yeah, give me give me a second, guys. I'm trying to. Max paying for gap down tomorrow would be dirty work. Yeah, that would be disgusting. If it's, I mean, again, after a big move like this, or after a catalyst, I guess, if you will, yeah, I mean, one of the things that would really fuck this up is if you gap up here, then the immediate move would be down, and that could spawn that red candle. But again, with all three ETFs, guys, and everybody thinking short, they might, and I mean, again, we're just a click away. I'll be ready tomorrow. Again, if you're taking a speculative position on that, that's entirely up to you. It doesn't adhere to what I'm doing, but there is empty space up to the upside for a day trade slash scalp position to the upside, and I think the cues are clearest with that, right? And provide the clearest targets. But the further away we are from it, the harder that's going to be. So yes, a lot of the times they're going to cost more. Give me a second. My friend gave me his login for the Weeble, and he put like $300 in there. He said, "Just chuck this shit at whatever you want." I said, "Chuck this shit whatever you want." I said, "Who said?" I said, "I said who said I would do this in the first place?" You really want me to chuck something though? I will. All right, there's the cues. 10 minutes left. We're about to touch 608. Ooh, not bad. Not bad. Is Weeble okay? Nah, man. I don't. I just told him I was like, if I blow your account on purpose, will you switch brokerages? Damn. What's up?
I was going to show you something. Just sitting in the car.
What's wrong? It breaks?
It just,
It has a clasp on the side. All right, I'll check it out. I'll be coming. Yeah, I don't know why that did that. No, you don't have to swing. Yeah. IWM. Aunt Vivian. I didn't plan this one. Q's trying to build. Got to get over that 60850. What is considered a swing trade? Anything overnight. Anything overnight. I have 266s for tomorrow on IWM, but I also am hedging those with 262s. Excuse me, sorry, 260s. 260s. Damn, Austin. Yeah, this is tomorrow. If we break over that high, or basically today's high, I believe 265.72 or 266 would be the first overhead target. So, use building. They're not going to give option traders an easy trade here. The 50% mark is fighting. I did. If you're looking to climb into this, I got this trade a lot earlier. Oh fuck, Austin. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Lock in, man. I'm managing my positions right now because obviously is going into a sketchy close here. All right, we're locked in here. I watched your YouTube videos, man, and the sauce is in there. It is in there, dude. It's in between the lasagna layers, you know? Just gotta peel them back. Something like that. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to make my own executive decisions here as well. Yep, there it is right there. 5 minutes left. Yeah, I mean, this type of close makes me look at the 266.28 and I mean, even 267, which would be the dynamic overhead confluential trend line retest that, again, is if we power over that 264.50, I think the goal is obviously, boy, Zebo, you better shove that head and shoulders somewhere else. 608.89 just got tapped. I just texted my friend. I said I'll just buy IWM both ways for you if you really want me to chuck it. PLTR. What is that looking like? That's technically a candle close outside of its range. You were able to do that. Uh, Pull back to cost basis, retests. Honestly, just to break over tomorrow's high, and I'll probably join you in that one if it doesn't gap up all the way there. 153. I bet those contracts are fucking juiced. Damn. Yeah, they're fucking juiced. I see 155.61 as an overhead target for PLTR. Now, with the volume that it has, let's see, 24-hour floor. There's multiple wicks off of the same level, so you're not even really touching it. But yeah, I don't see anything until 153, which, yeah, that lines up. Yeah, it lines up perfect. So 153 would be the target there. Or, trade station. Where's the box with the middle of the line? You have to go to the box and then click on the box. What the fuck was that? Oh. Market closes in a couple of minutes here. 4 o'clock. UNH, the close looks good. I'm with you guys. I'm with you on UNH. So I mean, we're looking at 295.90 to break. Um, the only thing that's gonna fuck this up is some major overnight gap down. That's it. I didn't move right when I looked at it. That looks good. That looks good. You got a good candle close outside of that 744. It's that right there at 763, and you should be on your way into the eights. Mm-hmm. The nada. Look you. 306. Yeah. More 305, 306.80. The wick is going to be 303 or 30, what is that? 302.78. That'll be the first target, and then yeah, the rest will be 306. So, but you know what? That's a great candle close, and against the market, again, it would be a gap down of some sort. All right, 10 seconds, guys. Make sure you have your setups. IWM, what are we doing here? So it filled up that empty space. Watch, they're going to hit news. They're going to drop news right when the future markets shut down. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, well, that changes things. Do I make much money do I make much money hedging? I have I have taken trades where rejections, speculative setups, which is usually when I hedge, and it's been one of those setups where it's three against the top, right? And so I get a decent candle close, I'll speculate it wasn't where I wanted it to be. But my hedges have paid out some. I mean, I had a hedge, I think, a couple of months ago go to like 800%. And as the only variable there is I have to make sure that I get out of my trade at the right spot, right? Or when the floor is lost, or, even like this morning when we establish an overhead resistance and know where that recovery will happen, that's where those shorts got to go. Yes, Fred. How did I learn? By suffering. Yeah. I don't think there's anything that you can try to do in life that's of anything. I mean, if you want to be an actor, you're going to suffer. If you want to be a singer, you're going to suffer. If you want to be a firefighter, you're going to suffer. If you want to be a stripper, you're going to suffer. No matter where, no matter what, no matter what job. I've had a lot of jobs, and some of them I really liked. I had to suffer. Yeah, life is, yeah. Buddhists have a lot about that. Yeah. You worked at Spanky's? Ha! This dude is local. That's crazy. No, I've never worked at Spanky's, my guy. Uh, it's a chicken spot. Oh my god. Yo, stop talking like that. Stop talking like that. In my ear. Dude, it's yes, I've eaten at Spanky's. I actually won the state of all right, get this guy out of here. Um I won the it was the 6th grade Georgia national reading competition slash banker. But I read a record level of books in one year. I read and tested over 350 books in one year, which is more than I had no friends. You are correct. That's right. My friends were the characters. That was my reprieve. Yeah. Is that like Hooters? No, Spanky's is it, yeah, no, no, no. I was reading like Mice and Men. Like dude, I was reading. Uh, no, no, I did. They did try to put me on the bus once, but no, I was they had a program called STAR at that very same year. And it was like Student Transformation Alternative Recovery or some bullshit like that. And they hired old drill sergeants from the military, real ass drill sergeants, and would make your parents drop you off at like 4 in the morning. This is when you got in trouble or something like that. And they would put you through like basic training. Like you had to carry a big ass log, Big Bertha, and like drink out of a jug until you threw up. And this is in middle school, dude, in Georgia, bro. They did not fuck around. Oh, did you? That's crazy. Um, yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, I was getting. Yeah, school was not. It was so weird. My teachers were mad confused by me because they would be like, "Dude, you get A's on your test, but you don't do your homework and you fuck around in class." Excuse my language, but and I was like, I don't have any arguments there. I get it. But you're having me do worksheets on this shit that you taught me 5 times. What are you expecting for me to do? So I mean, I actually got by. They put me. My teachers were like, "Nah, put this kid in there." I failed one of my grades, and then my end of course testing, they somehow allowed for me to move up to the next grade. But obviously, home life, has a lot to do with how you do in school. So yeah, it was a Georgia thing. Yeah, they had that. It was crazy, man. You remember that? Yeah, man. So 70s, did something to our parents, dude. You got golf clubs. Penny Mac has a ton of empty space, but the option chain sucks. Don't worry about it. You remember that guy who was wheelchairing across the state or some shit? I do remember that. Dude, I biked back when I used to ride fixed gears. I had a really nice Fuji Featherlight, and I biked from Savannah to Statesboro, and it was about halfway that my handlebar started to come loose, and I was like riding on the side of the highway, dude. It was one of the sketchiest things I've ever done. Um, Yeah, not super smart. He got hit and died in front of my house. Oh my God, brother. Jesus Christ. Is that downtown? That's crazy, man. Damn fixie kids. Yeah, dude. I got hurt really bad a couple of times. I got hit by a truck when I was riding fixed gears. My friend got knocked out cold. I thought he died in the middle of the street. ACHR, nasty rejection, dude. Bitch, the money snatcher. Can I look at Lyft? Yeah. Yep, classes, second part of classes tonight. It's going to be another simple class, some basics. I went to a similar school in Brunswick, grew up in St. Simons. I used to work, do you know an island called Heard Island? It's a really small island. Um, I go through Statesboro. I'm out in Clio, Georgia every once in a while, man. All right, so good accumulation on this, but dude, this is slap ass right in the middle of a range. Period. End of story. That's BAM cost basis. I love how that shit always lines up. And then BAM, that's just a range overhead that you're going to need to break through. So literally, you have the liberty of choosing based off how this reacts to what is above and what is below. I think zooming down here a little bit further, right? We could chalk it up and say, well, that's it. Bam. Damn, dude, that's perfect. You do have a gap up above. John said everybody's going to sell their cars. Do you? What do you mean, do me? I haven't seen old Rusty live in a minute. I think I got him, dude. I got his head. I told him I was never going to go away. I was going to be a problem that just casually persist, and I have been. But I don't really care. I mean, I only do that to prove a point. So yeah, dude. I mean, just choose. Does anybody else feel like we have a trade slash trauma bond in this Discord? Uh, I mean, I think yeah, a lot of you guys. I don't know. I've everybody's childhood in here, but I think we get to be humans in here. I haven't created an artificial Wall Street type business professional environment in here. You know, you can be a human, except for who was ever eating carrots. What was that? Jorge yesterday chomping on fucking. That was Chad, dude. Chad, just chomping on carrots, dude. Stars. That's what. That's the trick to trading, guys. Chomp on carrots, dude. Well, that's uh, it's a mystery, dude. Nobody really knows who that guy is. Nobody really knows. God. Oh, that dude, that has got to be one of the best sound clips we have in here right now. What time frame do you recommend swing trading? You sound like Trump singing. Um, that's the Trump. Yeah, yo, maybe they'll have Wall Street or not Wall Street, but maybe they'll have Shakespearean plays about Trump in the future, dude. That would be pretty lit. Um, oh, send me that recording, dude. Spy finishing green is hilarious. It is a big slap in the face of everybody who thought. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I took a short position over the weekend, which I'm glad that I had the opportunity to get rid of what I needed to get rid of and to get money out of it. I mean, I made money on the gap down. The only thing that sucked today is my ego, which again, this happened last week. Um, but obviously, I knew at the bell that if it's going to be a tough battle to try and go flush that floor. Um, and the fact that we gapped down to it just hurt my ego. You know, it's not as if that wasn't one of my price targets, but I was just a little bit butt hurt that we didn't gap down a little bit lower. Can I look? Yeah, I can take a look at that. Hold on one second. Look at MDB. No shit. Did anybody take that? Come on, guys. Listen, come on. See, This is when I want to have a little bit of it. This one I want to let it get to my head. You know what I mean? Lose myself. Look at it. Look at it. And it probably dropped down here tomorrow or 2:30. Dude, did anybody take that? AB? Oh, dude. Let let us rub your belly tomorrow for good luck, dude. Damn. You took it too? Awesome. Yeah. Kind of forgot about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. But there that goes to show you. Ah, damn. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're in UNH waffle. Yeah. Yeah. Awful waffle. Look at NQ, guys. Look at this. Look at that. Yeah. Still in range. I took one contract. You coming to Savannah later this year? Let me know and I can direct you. There's this one guy who's lived here for like 5 years. He's on TikTok. You guys wouldn't be seeing him, but I see him now all the time. And he's like rating Savannah's food spots. And like, I don't know what type of palate this dude has, but he's like, just I don't know if he's a corporate shill, but like he's straight up like he'd be like, I one of the best places to eat steak in Savannah is Ruth Chris, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I mean, I get Ruth Chris got some good steaks. I'm not gonna argue that, but like as far as Savannah's best, yeah, I don't know about that. You know, there's some actual like fine dining spots that have some incredible steaks. Ardsley Station has a killer, hanger steak. So yeah, dude, the best steaks I eat are the ones that I make. I don't ever get to go and eat steaks that are flavored to that extent. So, yep, yep. Damn. You just come here to hurt yourself, don't you? Now at this point, you're a masochist. Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of one of my good buddies telling me to buy PLTR at like $14 and then him selling his position without anybody knowing it because he got scared. And then, dude, it went on a generational run and me and Manny made a fucking biggity bag from it, dude. And we are like, shit. Have I been to the Bull and Barrow and the Burrow? Nah, I know what it is though. My girl probably did. What's the best Mexican spot in Savannah? Tequila Town probably is the best spot. Now there is another place. What is it? Jafresco, and I haven't gotten to try them yet. And then there's another spot. Jalasico, I think it's called. But they're more Argent. Hold on a second. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Argent. Yeah. They're more Argentinian. But they've got or Brazilian. I'm sorry. They've got cheese filled pupusas and a bunch of other delicious things. But yeah, Tequila Town is probably one of the best Mexican restaurants that we have to offer. Maybe it's the I know different don't different cultures have different versions of the papusa though. I might be you know what? I could really just answer this question now. Ooh. Yeah, I got a birria papusa from them, dude. Oh my god. I was like, dude, just give Trump one of these, bro. He'll calm down. He'll be like, you know what? Let him in. I need that papusa. From what I've heard, you can. Never mind. Just, I was gonna say something. Uh, yeah, birria papusa, dude. It was a religious experience. Yeah, I can hear you. Oh no. Yo, is anybody's networks being weird right now? Yo, you're in Savannah. Is your network being weird, dude? Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, man? Hello? Mic check? Hello? Mic check? Nah, you're good. Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me do this AAOI and AAP real quick. I was just trying to find the name of this place real quick. Uh, yeah, it's called Papusaria Jare, and it is not described exact. It says Latin American, New Mexican, and Mexican. So there's that. All right, delicious. Yeah. So you just want me to look at this because this is at all time highs. There's nothing I can really say about that. Just another day of tour. Okay. All right. Well, I hope it felt that you got the level of pain that you were looking for. Let's look at AAP and cause more pain. All right. 24-hour time frame. What are you gonna do to this, man? Oh, AP two PPs. Whoa, hold on. No, I don't think Dirio is. Um, what? What are you looking to do to this? Are you trying to go short? Are you trying to go long? You don't even know. You don't even. Maybe it's time to let this thing go. You know what I mean? Oh, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would be looking for one target overhead, and that'd be 4-4. I mean, and again, you have a multitude of opportunities beyond that. But outside of that 446.70, yeah, I would be looking up towards the 484s and then potentially 510s, maybe even 545. That's a big. We know that it can get it done. Pearl, you got a skedaddle. But I would say there's possible equal opportunity down to 397.50 if you lose your very clear 410 floor. So, all right. So you want me to take a look at this and just kind of from scratch. Um, so first things first, right, is just kind of looking at where we last week, right, dropping back in, closing underneath that 610, closing underneath that box that protected 610, and then obviously right now with the gap. Yep, yeah, what's up, man? I can't. Other people can't see it. I'll make it a little bit wider for you though. Is it small on your screen? I have four cats. Um. All right, there we go. So really quickly, and stepping back out to the 4 hour, today's bounce, all right, was caused by one of my rules is when you open on a floor, okay, a higher time frame floor, you are going to bounce. The ball is in buyer's court. Now, of course, this morning's analysis was obviously we're looking at a potential, right, rejection somewhere around that 600 or these wicks off of 599. And that's where we look at the lower time frame and you see it build a box on that floor. On that floor. Literally cost basis was the fifth that floor. Um, and with nothing to stop you overhead, a quick injection of cash, and they were able to disturb that balance and drive price not only into the gap, but actually set out or set off the box up above to push up into those highs. And we did, technically speaking, go and reach outside of that box top right here, just barely, because again, when you were looking at new highs and new lows, it is important to look at what is on the higher time frame and overhead, which is why tomorrow on a break over 610, we have a very straightforward, beginner friendly, right, trade to the upside. Obviously, depending on where we open up and if we open up with a level or floor still intact. Um, but basically today, the result of today, right, is gapping down and opening. And I think the fact that you did have so much overhead selling pressure from retail, it was advantageous for them to push that out. And this obviously gives sellers, if we are going to continue moving down, an advantage. But yeah, that is what happened. And then this is kind of the structure that it operated in, recovering the floor, moving up to the old 50% mark, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, they smoked. Well, yeah, what's up? Yeah, you can still sign up for. No, you're fine. You can still sign up for class. There's we still got a whole week left. So, all right. Yes, we do. Yeah. Yes, we do. Is class no IWM? Listen, with us grabbing all of this, we're gonna have to. Tomorrow's goal is obviously we want to see whether price is going to retest this. There's a large pocket, and this is basically the trade for tomorrow to the upside. A candle over 264.43, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing to stop you to go to that 265.85. So, am I on X? No, I'm not on X, man. I have my assistant posts on there, I think, sometimes for me, but yeah, I don't engage. I'm gonna be honest with you. I get rage baited way too easy on X by Mossad. They get me, and I had to leave. I got a couple of strikes for saying mean things about Elon Musk. I said he looked like a pregnant slug, and they gave me a strike. It's, is that picture of him on the boat with his body all looking like he's decomposing? You know, I think he's slipped into that skin, but that's just me. No, I'm just kidding. um, yeah, he's got a Roblox ass build. It fits with the Cybertruck, but dude, by the way, there is a dude on TikTok, a kid that is trading in Roblox. He has the chart in Roblox inside of his own lounge in Roblox. And he's got the charts there. And I don't, again, these kids with the computers, he's able to fill and trade his prop firm account on it. I was like, bro, I can't even hate on that, dude. That's pretty crazy. Like, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That, so the farther away, right, you get from breaking something. So how would I want today's candle to open up, right? And or rather close, right? Is the closer we are, right, up here, the higher the probability is that I'll take that as a swing. Because price is settling in a place where sellers control the price. But the fact that sellers were able to wrangle price and hold it down does put a temporary pause on taking that trade. Um, so I mean, again, with overnight price action, if we end up breaking that, um, I would assume some sort of catalyst would have us all the way up there. But yeah, it just didn't get close enough to that resistance for me to take it. And the only way that I would have been able to take it is if I added time, which again, I feel confident that I can take this tomorrow. As long as we open up within this range or anywhere in here, I can map out and trade it. So Would you be able to tell me Meta? I see Meta making a box. Would you say the price target and stop loss? I would, but I just clicked on your profile, my guy, and it says Orb Alerts, and it says a subscription Discord group that sends alerts for fast, medium, slow moving stocks for day trades for those who trade stocks. So my bigger question would be, why are you asking me? Is my name Orb? It's not. I would try a different account next time. You shouldn't wonder, dude. If you're guiding people, you should have an answer. I'm sorry. I'm not, you know what? I am trying to be rude. You shouldn't be in here asking, and you damn sure shouldn't be selling anybody anything. Close your website down and maybe come talk to me. All right. Sorry. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing in here for? Was that mean? Yeah, we are. Yeah, was that rude? I'm sorry. Yeah. MDB just took a peek at. Oh my god! Did it tap my level? Damn, you guys are about to wake up with a little bagarino, dude. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in class, hopefully. And today's again not going to be really complicated. You can use this time to go over last night's class, which was, I think, one of the best. Every year that we do it, it gets better. Last year, I didn't think it could, but this was obviously a really, really good intro. But am I gonna? Yeah, I'll tag everybody. Yeah. ONDS, dude, that thing looks like it might take an epic dumper. Let's see, 24-hour to that wick. Did it have earnings or something? Dude, when you see that, that's like if you flip that in reverse, bro, that thing looks like it's gonna flip back over. Um, Disgusting. Hmm. So you do have an intraday dip, so you almost invalidated it. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Underneath the 1030 low, start aiming for 967. And that's if you're obviously looking down. Anything closing back up against 1150, again, that's a fuck ton. Excuse me, it's a ton of volume overhead, and it would take a $12 recovery. That's a yucky chart though. So, peace out, Austin. Thanks, man. All right. Yeah. All right, Discord. I'll see you guys in class. Peace. All right, TikTok. If anybody has any questions on class or anything like that, YouTube, let me know. I was watching the cues last minutes and missed the entry when I clicked your stream, but caught a bit of IWM. Nice. Good. All right, guys. TikTok, YouTube. I'll see you guys if you're going to be in class. I'll see you at 5:30 Eastern Time. Peace. Your YouTube best place to start or jump in the Discord? YouTube's the best place to start, man. YouTube is the best place to start. Let's try it. I'll have to check